When I was 14, my mother passed away, shattering my world. She was my everything, my confidant, my true parent. Her loss left me hollow, but what stung even deeper was how fast my father moved forward. Just 7 weeks after her death, he was seeing someone new, and within 3 months, she was living in our house. By the time 8 months had gone by on my birthday, they revealed their engagement, framing it as my present. That broke me. I shoved the cake to the floor and stormed out. I vanished for a few days, long enough for them to nearly call the police, but eventually I had to return. When I did, my mother's memory had been erased. Her photos, her possessions, everything was gone. They forbade me from honoring her birthday or speaking her name. Worst of all, they demanded I call his new wife Mom. I refused. Every time I used her real name, they acted like I wasn't there. She presented herself as my mother to strangers, and I corrected her every time. Eventually, I stopped speaking to her unless I had no choice. By 16, I had perfected silence. For 2 weeks straight, I didn't utter a word to them. My father was livid, accusing me of tearing our family apart. What family? By 18, I left for college and never returned. I kept minimal contact with my father and none with his wife. I carved out my own life. At 21, I proposed to the love of my life. She understood my pain, supported my boundaries, and knew why I distanced myself from my father. But somehow he found out about the engagement. His wife posted online, claiming to be the proud mother of the groom and eagerly awaiting grandkids. I shut it down quickly. I posted, "I am not her son. She will never be a grandmother to my children." My father called furious, saying I was rude. I told him my only mother died when I was 14. That's also when I lost him. I cut them off again, but things spiraled. At 24, with my wife 8 months pregnant, they appeared at our doorstep. I never shared our address. They claimed they wanted to mend things. I slammed the door, but they didn't stop. They bought a house 10 minutes away. Suddenly, I saw them everywhere. Grocery stores, parks, even a gas station far from home. It wasn't coincidence. Then we uncovered the source. My brother-in-law, my wife's sister's husband, had been passing them details thinking he was helping. When we confronted him, he crumbled. My sister-in-law left him that night. They later divorced. I tried for a restraining order, but since they hadn't threatened us physically, the law couldn't help. So I acted. My lawyer drafted a formal notice declaring they were not my family. They were not welcome near my home, my wife, or my child. If they reached out, I'd pursue legal action. We had it delivered with proof of receipt and video. The stress overwhelmed me. I had my first panic attack. My wife, despite her pregnancy, held me through it. Then, our child was born. Holding my baby shifted everything. I understood unconditional love. I vowed to protect my family. But my father and his wife learned of the birth. They showed up at the hospital. I still don't know how they tracked us. Thankfully, the staff stopped them. After that, it became a relentless chase. They appeared everywhere. The police still said they weren't a threat. I had one choice left. We relocated. Moving with a newborn was grueling, but my in-laws helped us settle quickly. Now I'm free, but I'll always glance behind me, knowing my past lingers. A past that clings. Part 2. We'd settled into our new home, a spacious fixer-upper with land. It was safe for our baby, and with our tight circle's help, we were shaping it into ours. I handled nearly all the renovations, pouring my heart into our future. Since the move, my father and his wife had vanished from my life, until 2 weeks ago. I'd planned to share an update, but my lawyer called. My father wanted to meet. I refused, but my lawyer urged me to reconsider. "It's in your best interest," they said. Reluctantly, I agreed to a public meeting, the confrontation. 3 days later, we arrived early at a cafe, only to find them already there. It was just my wife and me, with a paralegal from my lawyer's office discreetly nearby for safety. Seeing them, I caught their disappointment. They'd hoped I'd bring our child. It began with strained chit-chat. I cut it short. "Why are you here?" I demanded. My father exhaled deeply and explained. His health was declining. He had perhaps 2 years left. They showed medical records, scans, proof his time was short. I listened quietly. Inside, I felt empty. It was like hearing about a distant acquaintance's illness, someone I'd once known but no longer cared for. My wife's hand on my arm kept me steady. She sensed my frustration. When they finished, I said what felt right. "I'm sorry you're going through this. I wish you well." Then I stood to leave. His wife snapped. "That's all you've got? You owe him more." I didn't let her continue. Years of pent-up rage poured out. I reminded my father of his debts to me. How he ruined us when he moved on so fast. How he tried to wipe out my mother's memory, my only mother. How he neglected me, over-disciplined me, and abandoned me emotionally. I closed with words I'd carried for years. My mother died when I was 14. Act like I died then too, because that's when you were gone to me. They sat stunned, speechless. My wife, barely 5'4", tugged my 6'3", over 200-pound frame out before I said more. She led me to the car. There, the weight crashed down. I had my second panic attack. My wife held me until I could breathe, moving forward. Since then, it's been silent. No contact, no more attempts to reconnect. But the wounds are raw. I still struggle, drifting into memories. My wife knows how to pull me back. She places our child in my arms. In that moment, nothing else exists. I'm no longer a wounded kid chasing a father's love he never earned. I'm a father, a husband, a guardian, and my past won't shape my future. Lessons learned. 1. Family isn't blood, it's loyalty. Boundaries are meaningless to those who disrespect you. 3. Some people never grow. You owe no one a second chance. 5. Your true family is the one you build. Am I safe now? I hope so. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe.